What are you doing?
Oh my
I
god.
don't even know what's going on.
Okay, Capricorn, in the short, I don't remember how far I got, but we're going to interpret the cards for you again with more information because I did say that I would expand upon them. All right. So I love these cards. I think that the Housewives Tarot is hilarious. You're not going to see them on screen, not at this time. Maybe when I get a chance to digitize them, but to just move this along quicker. I mean, I did try to hold them up for you a little bit, but okay. So the first card with the Ace of Pentacles, we know that this is a great card for you. Definitely Capricorn energy, Virgo energy, and this is beginning energy, inception energy. So this is also Aries energy. So this is a card that indicates that there's some kind of a new beginning, something tangible, something financial. It could be something like starting a new business, starting a new job, maybe investing in something new. And it doesn't don't everybody freak out about Mercury retrograde at once. Okay. It is what it is. Only you know what your timeline and flow would be. This is just saying that overall, this is the major theme. So there is something really great happening for you. And it could be that your finances are yielding something, or that if you don't have enough finances to make things go around, that you have figured out a way, or you are figuring out a way to make something work for you by doing something new or differently, usually something new. So again, card of security and stability as well. And for your card of the challenge, we have that funny little Knight of Cups. So, the Knight of Cups is kind of annoying. I always find it just a bit annoying. This is the Scorpio card, or one of the Scorpio cards. Don't get hung up on any of the descriptors or anything else that I give you. That information you already know, because this is the challenge is a romantic proposal, you see, and it doesn't have to be romantic. It could also be like a proposal mixed with an apology, but it's offers, it's an invitation to do something. It's, a directive to follow your heart. But remember, this is a challenge, and this is the card of dating, attracting people, affection. This is the card that says that Capricorn has found the object of their affections. That means if you're single, you have got your eyes on somebody that is driving you crazy, and you feel that you must make an offer, but just take it easy. Sorry. Because the gal is sniffing a rose in the art I'm looking at, and this guy looks like he's from old money. What's on here? I just noticed something, but he's pouring the champagne from a bottle of Cook's. I don't know how much money we've got there. It looks very much like young love to me, but he's got that little look in it, ladies and gentlemen, don't let him touch you. I mean, never mind. Okay, just note, cookies go in the cookie jar, and, there has to be special access to cookies, but let's not turn this into a whole thing. So, that's what the challenge is. I think that the challenge for you, Capricorn, is that you've got your eye on somebody, and you've got this great Ace of Pentacles, which looks like an amazing set of dishes. This reminds me of Christmas a little bit. I don't know. Maybe the person that you've got your eye on, you really are like, I'm going to have him or her just wrapped all around my finger by Christmas. I don't know where that came from, but, that definitely looks very seasonal. So does the Tower card with the suspended animation jello here. I don't want it. I will eat it if I have to. I know how to do polite things, but I don't want to have to eat the jello that has, a salad suspended therein. I don't want it, honey. I mean, I know what to do. Okay. I also know what to do with caviar, even though I don't want the caviar and you can't make me like caviar. I never have. I don't want it. I'm getting a visual. I'm getting a visual about the way that they gently get leave the whales alone. So anyway, I think that the challenge is that things are going very well. You're collecting your dishes or your pentacles and you're like, this is my beautiful pentacle, and I'm going to do something with it. I'm going to build something with it. And all these cards being upright make me very happy. And then along comes the Knight. This could just be a business offer. And this is not the time that I would, of course, entertain any business offers. Take whatever work you need, but also bear in mind that this is when you'd need to go over it and make sure, like if it's if it's a business contract, that you have an attorney, the right kind of attorney, look over it for you. Maybe get a second pair of eyes. If you're the entertainment industry, then make sure that it's an entertainment attorney that's looking at it, and then maybe get the business attorney to look at it. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is the time that we would go over things. We could enter into contracts where, say, you sell your voice to some company for a year, and then you find out that they're like, yeah, and you can't speak, lady. You're gonna, have to stand outside and mime what you need because you cannot speak at all now. Be very careful with things like this. Just means that we have to proceed with caution. The world doesn't stop turning because it's Mercury retrograde. That's an optical illusion, and it is from the perspective of us standing here on planet Earth looking out. It's an optical illusion. The thing is that it does have a very significant effect on communications and contracts, negotiations, starting new things, moving parts that should move aren't moving, parts that need to be replaced weren't needing to be replaced before. Long story. Things that are difficult to return are famously challenging, so like purchasing a car during a Mercury retrograde could be pretty dangerous, That's when you slap on extra insurances to make sure that if anything goes wrong, and then you find out the insurance is supposed to be bumper to bumper, but it doesn't cover a particular type of plastic. And you're like, what? All right. So somebody trying to bring an offer in would be the challenge. And then for finances, we have this crazy tower of jello, which makes me happy here. You don't see this, but I do. Makes me a little bit happy because what is jello anyway? Jello is very wobbly. Even jello jigglers are going to be wobbly. I wouldn't be really afraid of a tower of jello hitting me upside the head. The issue is here that for finances, it means that there is some kind of sudden upheaval. Maybe there's a change that you didn't expect. Maybe there's some confusion as to just what the hell is in this jello right here. What are all of these things that I have to deal with all at once? For some of you, it could be that you're going through a divorce and that it is something that, even with the tower, even though it is the card of out of the blue and unexpected, that Knight of Cups could indicate that somebody comes in with a challenge like, look, I love you and I also hate you. Let's get a divorce and let me pour you a glass of Cook's champagne. Because these are negotiations and so are the other two previous cards. So it could be that there is some pain associated with this divorce. If there's a divorce present, some rupture of a relationship. I mean, that Knight of Cups is a relationship, but I'm not too worried about it for you guys. It's going to be a small percentage of you because I don't really see a whole lot of other relationship information here. The only thing I find interesting is when I look at the chick with the black hair on the Wheel of Fortune, she's holding up 3 fingers, the number 3. I'm actually going to look this up because I don't know if it's mentioned in the book. I never noticed that before. I don't use this deck that often. I mean, I look at them, but in terms of like studying them and memorizing everything, I don't, because I usually just go pretty intuitively and by the commonly accepted. Oh, that one looks just like Marilyn Monroe. Okay, hang on just a second. There it is. Destiny, ups and downs, responsibility for one's own fate. Place your bet and watch the wheels spin round. It may be your night to win the jackpot, but watch out. You could be destined for bankruptcy. Before claiming the wheel was fixed or blaming fate, remember that you decided to play with the big boys instead of sticking with the slot machines. You decided to bet it all instead of cashing in your chips while you were ahead. The harsh lesson of the Wheel of Fortune I can't read it. The harsh lesson the Wheel of Fortune teaches us is that we are each responsible for our own fate. Okay, so the number 3, that I'm still going to say that, for a very small few of you, that there was a third party or some other weirdo there in your relationship. We're looking at blue, yellow, and red chip for it. Boy, I'm going to have to look at that one more closely another time. So I think with the tower, that the tower falls, and it has something to do with a negotiation with money. Now, for those of you that are not having a relationship issue, God bless you. That's a wonderful thing. It could just indicate that something has fallen through in a negotiation, in an escrow, in a job search, in a situation where somebody tries to make you an offer and they really want you. A job would do that, right? I really want you, but I don't want to pay you what I know you're worth. It's happened to me. One place still owes me money. They can't keep a business together, so, and they're keeping it together. That's why I haven't sued them, because we'll think about that. But now to the Ace of Pentacles going to the Two of Wands. So as it relates to your romance, we've got the Two of Wands. So interesting when you look at this card, and you can't see this, but we have this woman holding 2 different types of cleaning implements. She's got a mop in one hand and a broom in the other. But interestingly, there are 2 disembodied hands that are coming through her fur coat and are holding, controlling the tops of the I almost said wands, but the tops of the implements, of the cleaning utensils, and they look like male hands, while her hands with red polish are kind of wrist up, more vulnerable, like she can't really control things. Somebody else is controlling things. So as it comes to this point, if I look at this and hang on, I really feel that those are male hands, and they are top of the hand up. Her hands are almost in supplication, holding a very difficult to maneuver, like to try to clean with this. It'd be almost impossible to sweep by, holding a broom, almost choking it on the broom head. And she looks very, very sad. There could be a situation here as it relates to your romance that you feel that somebody else is controlling you. Somebody else is in control. You feel like you don't have any control. And this is the card of 2 paths, 2 options, the grass being greener on the other side. Maybe you're longing for grass that's greener, but there's definitely a decision or a choice. Something must be decided, because this is the card of, do I stay or do I go now? When do I go? Do I stay? Do I go now? When? So this is also the card, obviously, with grass being greener, that talks about, I really don't like my life. I really don't want to sweep and mop and, feel like I'm being puppeted by somebody who's got more control than I do, because I'm just the lowly cleaning person. And there's somebody that literally is standing behind me telling me what to do. So as it relates to finances, it could be that you feel strong-armed, like somebody else is in control of the situation, that here you are with this great opportunity. These pentacles look great. You've got the Elder Futhark Fehu. So you've got really good opportunities. You've got the better energy here for things going your way. Don't be worried about that tower. Or, but I would be kind of worried about that guy. He looks pretty shady. He just, he's pouring that bottle of champagne, but right ahead of him is the tower. Just watch out, because this could be as simple as somebody is trying to maybe loan you money, or you're in some kind of an exchange that has to do with real property, whether it's a vehicle or land, that kind of thing. But somebody's like, I'm going to make this work for me better than it does for you now. I will give you Cook's champagne, but you're not getting anything else. I'm just going to say that because Cook's champagne, this is pretty obvious on here. That it's like, well, I'm going to give you champagne. What do you think of that, sweetheart? And really, the champagne is not top tier. Not saying it has to be. I'm going to walk into your house, and if you've got Kool-Aid to offer me, and you're like, well, shit, Rita, we don't have any sugar. I'm like, well, bring me the Kool-Aid. We're going to drink the Kool-Aid together. Okay, so Mars energy with the Two of Wands. One must take action in romance. Make a decision. And also remember, you don't have to feel pressured, because choosing not to make a decision, or choosing not to choose, choosing not to decide is also a decision and a choice. Times like this, I suppose I would say that maybe some meditations could help you, but don't spend too much time on it, because you've got a lot of action and energy and activity with that Ace of Pentacles and the good China. Okay. Interesting that the glove is blue. That looks like an old-fashioned dishwashing glove. Handling it with care. All right. So I think that at this time, what you need to do, because of course that seems like making a decision makes me feel pressured for you, then do some meditations, or Google some mantra, something to help you focus on your third eye chakra. Ajna chakra. Think about that. Think I'm going to do a meditation, even if I'm going to sit and say third eye chakra, third eye chakra, third eye chakra, whatever you have to do to get in tune with it, knowing that its keywords are I see. I see. You can even say, I see clearly with my third eye. I understand what's going on because I can see things with my third eye. I can perceive what's happening even when it isn't completely visible in front of me. Okay, so for the the Wheel of Fortune, lots of numbers here. And she's holding up that 3. Gosh, I'm going to have to think about this a lot. 22, 23, the number's just like a roulette. Okay, so for the solution, aside from the Housewives Tarot, because that Wheel of Fortune is always good luck, and we know it to be destiny. It's about luck in games of chance, which is probably why they chose the Wheel of Fortune or a roulette here to represent. What else do we see? This gal looks so sweet and so hopeful, holding her little 3 fingers up like 3. I'm going to have to really think about this. Never really noticed that before. This is a card of good karma. This is about cycles of life, fate, destined events. This is also literally the card of gambling. It is a wheel. This is a card that indicates that nothing stays the same, that everything will change, and it must change, because that's how we develop. That's how we move along and grow. So making sense of this is what I feel, Capricorn. Next 5 days, this is excellent. I think you're in love with somebody. I think you are freaking in love with somebody, or somebody is freaking in love with you. Not just because of the card, I was feeling that earlier. If you are single and available, please don't be like single, air quotes, and available, air quotes, like, I don't even want to add to the disgrace, but the now disgraced human resources lady that sure was helping the people. And the CEO that sure was seeing a whole lot more than he needed to. Make sure that if you're single and available, you really are. Everybody would have really forgiven this if they were both like at least separated. All right. Nobody was even going to wonder about their documentation. They would have been like, okay, but are they separated? No. That beautiful woman that is, or soon to be was, married to the CEO from that now unfortunately associated tech company, she will know what to do. If anybody says, well, that's her karma. No, honey, sometimes a little angel like that is just part of somebody else's karma. And it's happened to lots of people. We've done it. We've had it done to us. We've seen it. We've had other people witness it. It's just very painful when you see that little face and think, oh boy, you're probably an earth angel and you're about to level up. And to that weird woman, yeah, HR helping the people, yeah, yep. Um, you know, everybody really is talking about how she just fumbled a bag. I don't care about the money part of it. I'm just thinking, boy, really, how, I'm going to tell you this. I really think that they had an investigator, that there was already an investigator on her. And it was probably, I'm going to say, in a hypothetical world of my own creation, that he already was keeping an eye on her. Whether he suspected something or not, I just think it's because people don't come from that kind of quiet ancestry in their locale. People don't just come from a family with no real scandal and suddenly develop one. It could be that they were going to have to be someone there had to throw the match in and just get this over with. But let's also make it humiliating on the way out. Like, this is what you're going to get because, you wanted to be this way. So it could very well have come from someone on his camp, very likely. I don't know. I really feel like that. But just be careful. How about this? There's a decision that needs to be made about romance. I just go with the flow. You could go out with people. You don't have to start some kind of a full blown physically involved romance. You don't have to even let somebody kiss you. I mean, they try to kiss you, turn your cheek. Give yourself time to think, why are we going there so quickly? Because, that does involve exchanging bodily fluids. You could kiss your friends, you could kiss your neighbors, but when you get somebody so close to kissing you, you're going to end up in bed. Completely different story. I don't think that really applies here as much as there is a challenge for maybe celebrating too soon in romance. I think that a decision needs to be made and that the solution being the Wheel of Fortune. Really, sweetheart, is to remind us all that no matter what we've done, Queen of Pentacles in reverse, make sure that that person is not attached or that you aren't attached. Somebody could be attached. Somebody could be materialistic, like our friend here who blew the bag. What? Because you don't have to be selfish in only material ways. You could be like, well, I'm going to have my bag and carry it too. And I'm going to be doing the guy from the tech place because I think he's hot. I saw the picture of her husband. I think her husband is way hotter. He looks Jewish. I like Jewish guys. I think they're smart. They don't mess around with you. They don't. Do you hear too many scandals about Jewish people? I know that sounds racist as hell. Don't let it be racist. I don't care. This is for entertainment purposes only, but I think her husband looks hot. I think he looks like a little angel, and I'm hoping that he is the guy that was like, yeah, I think, I want to put it this, release the hounds. He thinks that the missus got a Sancho. Okay. All right. So let's get I already pulled them. Yes, I did. Okay. Okay, so Capricorn, I don't know if these are going to apply. Maybe I went to pull something else because I wasn't feeling this, but I didn't know the grab bag smorgasbord that these were going to be. So for you, weird oracles. Cult family. Nurse didn't know clinic was watching. Sounds like a crime show. Ritual sacrifice. It's about to get crazy. Like I'm already blah, 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 blah. Buried the treasure. I'm thinking this sounds like Santeria. Y alguien tiene una prenda. Like, No, that wouldn't be Santeria, honey. That wouldn't be Regla Ocha. That would be something very, there is a branch of a kind of what you guys might think is Santeria, and it's called Palomonte or Palomayombe. And I'm going to tell you something, that there's a body part, even if it is a digit. I don't know what they do now these days. I don't like that funny business. Capricorn, I think you're okay. I just think you take a lot of shit because your card archetype is the devil card, but it doesn't mean that it's because you're the devil. I mean, please. You make me nervous. Pay attention. Street credit. What the? This cannot be your pile. Something, this isn't, no, this feels wrong. I don't know why this pile is here. There's Aquarius and Pisces. Yes. Okay. This is your pile. Okay. I covered it up and grabbed, maybe these are discards. I don't know what this is. Okay. For the devil is a liar and the bathrobe wizard and crew, toothpaste and dentist, Capricorn. Maybe somebody needs to go get a checkup. We've got the Wizard of Oz. They send flying monkeys. Let's not care what they say about you because you're more awesome than everybody. So why? We have the Scythe. Your current romantic partner must be cut off. Please be careful. Like, we don't want to hurt anybody. Don't post it on Facebook. Keep your private life private. Exactly. Time to go. I brought the wine. Someone approaches to complain. Look, do what I do. You got to also cut that off. You don't need people bringing you their drama. Most of the time, people complaining the louder. So the ones that have, when they're like, but I need you to help me know what to do. And like you could have told them before, they never would have listened to you if you gave them any advice or any coaching at all of any kind. You know, so the majority of the time, by the time somebody's like, save me, I'm melting. You need to let them know, well, honey, you're going to melt then. Because if you can't figure your way out of this, I'm not going to help you. Usually these are the same people that have hurt you. I'm not saying that it's, one good turn deserves another, but so often it really is a situation. Now, just because I pulled out these weird cards, freaking A. Let's just look at a couple for giggles, okay? Because 26 minutes, 47 seconds. Puerto Rico is significant. Uranus is significant. I happen to know a Uranus that is associated with Puerto Rico. Spiderweb spell and border patrol. Something about the month of August involves the hammer. We'll take one more. Exposed, Maryland, and the karmic gets karma. Third-party surveillance thinks they are a soulmate. No, honey, anybody that could ever hurt you, seriously, like I'm not saying physical injuries, but like if you find out, okay, so that's a son of a bitch, or that is an evil woman right there, you are bad. You know that's not a soulmate. I don't know all the trendy terms for this. But that would be some kind of false something. Okay. That's like when you pick up the generic at the market and you take it home and you're like, oh no, this sucks. This is like the worst generic, because the correct person for you isn't going to hurt you. And if they were to hurt you inadvertently, they would be quick to apologize and you would know that it would be true. People who can cause you problems that would result in threes, kind of like, I feel so inclined to mention about the, CEO from hell. And somebody called her Camilla Parker Bowles. I saw that and I was just rolling. Lord. But, that man who traded Princess Diana, his pretty wife, or the person he'd already established, to go off and sneak and do something with the unfortunate representation of Camilla Parker Bowles. We will never understand that. Sometimes people just go to the easy second fiddle. Sometimes people just go pick one up on the side of the road. Sometimes people just go pick up a prostitute too. These things happen. I'm not saying that anything like that has ever happened to you, and hopefully you've never done anything like that to anybody. But remember, every dog has his day. You are protected by the Elder Futhark and Fehu bids you greetings. Take care, sweetheart. Love you all.
Ma fede fulmine e le tue